Hello everyone and welcome once again to another commentary video. This time we have a banger. It's not like, oh, this funny dude did something. No. Actually a banger. This guy right here, you can see the nicks because both of these players have Chinese names. One of them is the max player, who is ranked around the 1200. He is quite decent, quite good. He only plays, at least on this account, Fog, so I will assume he's either only Fog account or a main Fog player. Anyway, he's quite respectable because a general rating of over 1200 without touching standard or high founds, it's quite respectable. But here comes the catch. His opponent is Olaf, with 44 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. Nothing out of the ordinary. Who is this guy? I have no clue. He plays all modes. He plays high fans. He plays standard. He's currently playing as Grim, as against other, and he's doing quite well. I don't want to comment on it. Well, first of all, it has not yet finished, but I think I would need someone else at least to help me out. I have commented on this map. Just yesterday I recorded the replay commentary, but I was about to edit the video and I saw this, and I saw, okay, the other game was fine. It was Kindle against Andy, but the problem with that match, it was a middle game level. Nothing wrong with it. I like covering middle level matches, but is that Kindle is banned from tier 3, but Kindle is not good enough to be able to fight in tier 2. In tier 2, Kindle loses against Olaf or Max. This map has a gimmick, as you will know for the nice thumbnail I made. Yes, at this time, since I recorded and then I do normally the thumbnails, but I'm recording this bit after the thumbnail because I want to do about this match, which is bongers. It's this tank. The tank here trapped is the gimmick of this map. You have to get away from here. The base damage against a pipe with a tank is 15. It's the same base damage if you were hitting a Neo tank with 0 defense and minimal lag roll without any lag, always. So if you are able to get up to, if you do bare 15 damage, you will take, if I remember correctly, my math is correct, 7 attacks. But if you go to 17, you will get 6. If you go to 20, you will go to 5. If you go to 25, you will go to 4, etc, etc, etc. So if you manage to get some firepower, for example as Kindle, this is basically this pipe scene and this trap tank is one of the reasons why Kindle is banned from tier C. She's too good for the tier 3 COs, but she's not quite that good enough to deal with the tier 2 COs, because she's not gonna be able, well, maybe against Eagle, I don't know, but the matter of the fact is that this is an Olaf Max match. I really like Max on this map, even though it's kinda awkward to deal with these pipe seams and this tank trap. You normally will have to get double mech instead of artillery, which is annoying, but it's better than getting an artillery as Max for sure. One of your mechs will probably go down to 5-ish HP, but it's completely fine. because you don't want to give a free tank to your opponent, that's for sure. And as max, you will, with 20% extra firepower, you will get 18 base damage against the pipe, which means you will get it in 6 turns instead of 5 as Olaf could. No, because 7 Olaf and Max will get it in 6. But anyway, if it was Kindle is able to do 20 if I remember correctly. 40. Yeah, Kindle is able to do 20 damage. That's why he's able to get out even earlier as the max. Anyways, guys, don't mind me. I'm a bit tired. I didn't sleep too much, so I will be a bit sloppy, but I really want to comment on this one. So let's use a straight jump to the match. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't sleep well, but don't pay attention to it. As you can see, both players normal infantry builds, rushing the neutral property as you should do always. The Chinese community is quite how you call it, fascinating to me. They have their own meta ideas, like they are not that fan of spamming copters. They use copters for sure, but they are big fans of using, how you call it, big tanks and big tech instead of use spamming units, which is quite a shift. Excuse me, guys. Quite a shift out of the normal meta you see. Normally players like to spam a lot of units, but we will see. I don't know how I'm gonna call Olaf player. I'm just gonna say Olaf, I guess. But I don't know how to read Chinese. Sorry, guys. But Olaf player is gonna build the artillery turn 4, so in one turn it will be able to shoot at it, and then this tank is not getting away. But if you do it one turn later, this tank will get away. I think it won't get away, so you have room to work with. And as you can see, Max player skipped this property and opted to go for this. The rule of thumb for capture phases, this depends obviously on the maps, but normally you want to prioritize first chains, contested properties, and then immediate properties. And this is a contested chains. As you can see here, this is a contested city on the middle, but not only that, but if you capture this, you will immediately be able to capture this city on the middle, and this city, this not as much, but I swear to you guys that these two cities here are hell to get if you don't get them as early as possible. And I think Max is being wise by rushing, because he is gonna pay an early economical impact, but for the long run is gonna pay out a lot, because it's not only income, but it's also the security of being able to sit on this city and getting 2 HP of repairs, which can be a big deal. Because imagine you want to your front lane here. If you sit here and you get hit, that's a huge tempo of getting repair. That's why Rachel day-to-day ability, which is getting repair 3 instead of 2, but you still pay for it, it's kinda underestimated in my opinion. It's a decent ability. It's not amazing. It can be harmful for her sometimes. Imagine you are playing against Kindle and Kindle pops Urban Blight and you get drained a lot of fans. It can be annoying, but at the end of the day, you are choosing to repair these units apart from the ones that you are wielding. So yeah, as we can see, the Olaf player is also rushing the middle properties. So both players are gonna get the middle-ish properties probably. I don't see how Olaf is gonna stop this capture from happening. He has no infantry in range, even if he wanted to skip a capture. But on the other hand, if the max player somehow gets vision of this, which is not even possible to be honest, could interrupt, but he's not gonna get well, he knows because of this tank, but he's gonna get, yeah, this tank at least gave the info that well, no, this infantry is on a forest. So I didn't say anything, guys. Please be kind on me. I'm gonna be silly today, if you want to say it like that. Anyways, after shooting this artillery, what you wanna do? What you want to do with it? You go to the right, you go to the left. Normally, I would like to bring it around here and break this pipe, because this pipe is really important. Imagine you will attack here and you have this pipe broke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not quite, but almost a full turn of movement for your vehicles. So it's kind of a huge deal if you want to bring vehicles from this base into the middle. And it's not even like you could afford to only wheel infantry here and vehicles here, because this is not very nice for infantry also, and instead this base is a really good one to spam infantry from. If you are wielding 2 vehicles and 1 infantry, you want to be wielding the infantry most of the time here, unless there is I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, these two bases reach the same, so yeah, these 2 bases are completely the same for vehicles, but except this one is better for infantry. So yeah, with that being said, I don't want to, how you call it, drag too much about that. But Max didn't build the mechs, so this tank is gonna be free. The problem with it is that it has only 2 ammo, so if attacks a tank and then it gets counter, it's basically ammo for 1 day of combat on enemy, on yours. So yeah, you want to go somewhere safe to get refuel, but I mean, this tank can escape perfectly, right? Yeah. It's gonna be kind of sketchy. I don't know if Olaf is gonna manage to figure it out the way out. But, I mean, you don't have anything to lose. Okay. I think Olaf got trapped. Maybe Olaf tried to go into the forest or into the city. We will never know. The problem with that is that the replayer, most of the time, if you get trapped, the log doesn't register that action, because my assumption is that that action didn't end, so it doesn't get recorded. But yeah, and it's a shame, because we could get an insight of what Olaf tried to do if going into these. I would bet going into this forest, because he had vision of this city. So yeah, he tried to go into this forest. Yeah, now you think about it. Just think about it for 1 second. And Max is probably able to interrupt this capture, because the reason for that is Olaf was 1 turn late to to the middle. So that's gonna be a big difference, because now Olaf is gonna get this City the Knight and at one hit KO, and not even one of these infantries are gonna die in return. So that's the importance of getting control of the middle. Now Max is gonna sit on a property advantage. The problem with that is that Max is behind somewhere else on the capture. As you can see, Max still has to capture this property here, but Olaf already has gotten it. That Max not only have the middle advantage, but he has, if you want, I mean, it's an advantage. He has access to this city in the future for Reapers and to be a safer spot, if you wanna call it like that. Imagine you shoot at a copter, and then that copter, the anti-air that shoot at the copter gets injured but doesn't get killed. You can go back and repair here, and it's a very safe-ish city to repair on. It's very hard to get killed. And as we can see, Olaf opted to simply make Max pay 1k, because he delays this capture. But not only, I mean, you already have this tank injured, but if you think about, for example, when you interrupt with a recon on a capture, even though if the enemy gets that capture, that's not 1k of income delay, that's 2, because the first repairs will cost 1k effectively, even if it only costs 200, the minimum amount if you have normal infantry of repairs. So even that is gonna be impactful, because having 1k less in early game can be the difference. And as you cannot see, this infantry attacked the pipe, and it got also not register the same way as getting trapped doesn't register. But anyway, Olaf, because it seems like he's ahead on income, but you have to keep in mind that it's, how you would say it, it's not actually equal, because Max will be always half a turn ahead. Like, he will build units, he will have more value, and the same for the Olaf turn, he will destroy units, etc. So if you are slightly ahead on your opponent's on your turn, at the end of your turn, that means you are even. That's something you cannot know in FOC. You can know the income, but the income is not very impactful. Oh look, all these units didn't register attack in the pipe, unless you have a big difference, because for some matchups, for example, Eagle can afford being behind on income. He's expected to be behind on income, even against Max, because he's just quicker, but he will make up for that difference with the Lightning Strike. But this is not Eagle, this is Olaf. Olaf has to rely on Winter Fury damage. Olaf has to stop this capture from happening. He cannot allow Max to get that much control of the middle. I wonder if this tank is gonna attack this infantry. I mean, I think it's a kill with the com tower. I think it's not a kill. I think it's a roll, because Kindle, when has Urban Blight activated, has guaranteed with one com tower this kind of roll. But since you only have 10% firepower with a tank, I think this is a roll. This is probably gonna happen because this is at 60 something HP, most likely. In order to know that, you can track that infantry engagements and see the values on the calculator. But I think even then, if you attack with this tank here, you can get, I mean, Olaf doesn't know, but he can get 2 hit KO here, then an infantry here, and then first strike from the city with a tank. It's not very likely, but also it's very ballsy to attack into this, because it's a forest. So I honestly good attack, because I'm very bold, but I respect if Olaf doesn't. Okay. And this infantry again attacked the pipe, and it got basically not registered until next turn. I keep repeating for whoever doesn't know what's about that. I bet this pipe is gonna get destroyed by the Neo tank, and these tanks are gonna head to the mid. The problem with breaking this pipe is that Olaf now has assert domination over the middle. Even though Max had the early advantage, now it has dropped a little bit, and he has only 2 tanks in position to attack infantry. So at the end of the day, you are not going to do much with those tanks, because yeah, you can sit on the city for sure, but that's it. You are not doing real damage. I mean, attacking infantry and killing it is quite a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but see, this medium tank attacked this pipe for sure, and now this is broken, that's why it doesn't move in. But at the end of the day, what you want to do with your vehicles is attacking other vehicles. I count air units as vehicles, in the sense that they are actually not vehicles, you know, guys. I'm not stupid, I know what is a vehicle in real life, but in Advanced Wars via web terms, I consider vehicles anything that is a tank, that is an indirect, medium tanks, anti-air, copters, fighters, bombers. I don't consider vehicles recons, and the reason for that is that they are not a threat to other vehicles. Yes, they are a threat to indirects, but first of all, they don't deal that much of the damage, and even then, they have a hard time, you know, doing that. Okay, I like this, doing as much damage as possible and securing the guaranteed hit KO. I think with 100% tank on tank on a forest is guaranteed. Is this another infantry that got trapped? Yeah, if you notice, this infantry attack into this infantry without having vision. That means this infantry that is not moving got trapped in doing this. As you can see, I'm gonna call out all of the things, and this is a very solid wall. And now Olaf is pushing Max away from the middle, and he's not in position to make Olaf away, even though Max has had the superiority on the middle, since he had dropped it a little bit with this pipe break. I think he has let his window of punish into the middle go away. And yes, Olaf is 2k behind on income. The reason for that is Max has this property, Olaf doesn't have this property, and also Olaf has not this one. So, but at the end of the day, Olaf can afford being slightly behind on income. 2k is not the end of the world, and not if you are a global CEO, because you are gonna make that 20% swing back every few turns, like 5-6 turns. Whenever the fight starts popping, normally you have Olaf super every 5-6 turns. The thing is, if you start having positional turns where you are not actually fighting, yeah, you are not gonna get it that amount of time. But look, this copter is completely exposed to enemy copters or anti-air. I mean, at least the anti-air could be one shot back, But the thing is unless there is more copters, anything that attacks this copter is gonna get killed by this artillery. So I really like this position for Mr. Olaf. Is he close to a Winter Fury? Not quite. Okay, seems like Olaf is opting to front switch into this area. It seems like he smells a hard push next turn by Max. If you think about it, it's predictable in the sense that Max basically bothered to break this pipe, so you expect him to come from this area with at least some delayed vehicles, because Max is not gonna have artillery, so you will expect to have some vehicles delay. One thing you can do in Fog, by the way guys, is always check if the enemy pipes has been attacked. And since you know more or less when they get the com tower and, well, you know what CO you are facing, you can track the damage rolls and you can determine what kind of units your opponent has wheeled. But anyways, Olaf predicts an attack from Max, and I think it's very wise, because a Max force is gonna be very punishing into this area, and even a Max Blacks is possible. Well, possible, I mean, it's almost 10,000 away. So that's not gonna happen, at least just for half of the push. But anyways, as you can see now, Mr. Olaf is starting to change medium tanks, and I was discussing about this with Lightning Strike before commenting on this match, and he was asking me, Cynic, how do you deal with a medium tank chain from Olaf? And my answer was like, you get your own medium tanks, you get bombers, you get Neos, or you are screwed if you can afford that. Because, yeah, you can check a medium tank with 1 or 2 copters. The problem with that is you won't kill that medium tank, and then that medium tank is gonna get covered by an anti-air, normally most of the time, and you are gonna lose the copter. And that's not a fair trade in my opinion. Olaf is not gonna get this property of the site, but he's exerting pressure onto this area. The problem is Olaf is still behind on income. It's not a big deal, but still is something that Max has to rely on right now. Because the one who is taking up is Olaf. The problem with attacking up with medium tanks is, yes, this is very strong, but there is a window where you are very vulnerable. If you are fighting now, how much time it will take from these medium tanks to arrive into this area if fight starts here? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5 turns away. So I think Olaf should try to fight here, just because of the reinforcement is coming. You don't want to fight too far from your chain. But right now Olaf is not quite there on the Winter Fury. The good thing about Winter Fury, not as other powers as Max Blast, is that popping the Winter Fury at the end of your turn, if you have no other choice, is completely fine. Obviously you prefer to pop it at the start, so you get the extra passive defense and firepower, and you will easily get KOs because units are more injured. But it's completely fine to pop it on the middle of turn, but it's not coming this turn. And this medium tank is not in range of covering any of these units. At the end of the day, there are only infantry, one copter, yeah, not too much damage is gonna be done. So it's not. I kind of like the positioning of Olaf. Is very aggressive, but if he the medium tank gets a spot. If he manages to get away this turn, he's gonna be winning, because as I said, being slightly behind on income as Olaf versus Max is fine. Being equal or behind as Max versus Olaf is losing, and you don't want that to happen. So Max has to do something this turn. Max Force. The good thing about this is Max will have double power coming. Although next turn is gonna start snowing. Oh, Max doesn't know about this artillery. Okay, sacks the infantry to get the KO. Okay, gets vision of the artillery, very wise. You don't want to put your medium tank near to forest without checking on the forest. You have to be kind of Susie, you know, like the acceptical is the word I was looking for. And as you can see, this copter sack itself to damage this copter. I think this is completely fine, because if you go away and try to repair that copter, it's gonna be completely useless, because next turn it's gonna drop to from 3 to 1 HP, and 1 HP copter is not useless, but it will at most give you vision or maybe block one attack. But yeah, you better injure as much the copter that is uncontested by Olaf. But as you can see, both players are not wielding that many copters. Max likes to wield more copters than Olaf, because it's Max direct units, boom boom boom, you know. But we can see what I was saying in the beginning of the commentary, that the Chinese community doesn't like too much to how you call it, wheel air units. They prefer to do big tanks, and as you can see, we saw a very early medium tank by Max, and right now we see 2 medium tanks coming by Olaf. And normally I could never do that in my games. Unless I feeling naughty, I normally use spam tanks, copters, some anti-airs, boom boom boom. But yeah, we can see the difference here. But Winter Fury comes, and let's see how much damage. It's gonna probably do around 20 something thousand of damage. That's 13 damage of value. That's a bit less than what was? No. 23 thousand of value. Remember guys, I ask you for my understanding that I'm gonna be a bit woo today, because I didn't sleep too well. But anyways, that's more or less what I was expecting of damage. So yeah, this medium tank can completely sit without any problem on this city. The only threat that it has, it's the possible copter, but you are prepared for that, or the medium tank. But yeah, this medium tank is injured. You will attack from to higher ground. Also, Olaf has the 10%, so this is 40 defense. You don't want to attack into that, even as how you call it, Max. And someone would say this is kinda Manx infantry, but at the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, you are covering these tanks, so you are forcing your opponent to do hit KO this, but you cannot do hit KO this as Max, because you have you are facing extra defense, so it's like it was a bomb ball infantry right now on a city, but all your infantry is weakened. Well, will get repaired, but even if you have 2 healthy infantries, you will never get the 2-hit KO. So you either use a vehicle to get rid of this infantry, which is bad because you don't want to hit infantry with your vehicles unless it's completely necessary. So this infantry is here for blocking and walling, not for the capture. But if you are sitting on a neutral or enemy city, why not capture? So the purpose behind it is not the capture, guys. Don't get tricked. By the way, I didn't mention, but Olaf managed to cut up the income. Now he's only 1k behind, which is basically even on income, and that's bad for Mr. Max. See, Max doesn't bother to do hit KO it. He only interrupts the cap, and next turn is gonna be able to do hit KO and hit whatever is behind this infantry on the city. But Olaf is probably gonna retreat. He's not gonna keep trying on this capture. I mean, I could expect, but maybe he wants to keep fighting over this city, around this city. It doesn't seem like the case. He's just holding the high ground with infantry, which I think is completely nice as Olaf, because once you pop Winter Fury once on tier 2 in Fog, not in a standard. In a standard you can face Sammy, and that might be a problem because of the extra firepower on infantry. But against Eagle or Max, who has normal infantry, the HP infantry that will remain will not be enough to do hit KO even a normal infantry on a city. So, as I said, you will need to use a tank or a vehicle, and you don't want to do that. Look, shooting vehicles with your vehicles, that's what you want to do. They are covered by this medium tank. This medium tank is covered by the other medium tank. Anti-air prepare for any copter aggression that we can see. So I'm not gonna lie, unless Max pulls off a very good push with a max force this turn or the very few next turns, I'm kinda worried for him. Let's see. Max is able to secure one more property, which is nice for him, but it's not what he wants. What he wants is to kill stuff, which he's managed to kill a lot, but most of it was infantry and 2 injured tanks. He's not even able to touch the medium tank on the plains. So even though Olaf looks super behind on unit count, remember he has still to destroy units and will units. So on unit count he's gonna be slightly behind because he's gonna probably end up at most even at the end of his turn. But let's see. Uses the anti-air from a forest to do hit KO. This was probably a roll. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, because it had 8 HP. I think it was a roll. Oh, that was a roll that didn't go well. Happens. Sometimes you lose. And now there is coming another medium tank chains, and this is looking very bad because this medium tank chains opposite as this one is on the good part of the map, because this base is much more closer to the area which Olaf is fighting for, and he has 4 medium tanks I mean, one is slightly injured, but what Max has, yeah, he's bringing a neo tank, a medium tank, but Olaf is gonna do a lot of damage before they get into here. And 2 big vehicles against 4, guess what wins? 4. This is so clear a Chinese meta match. They love the big tanks. They love the big tanks. They build some copters. They definitely don't ignore them. But the problem with building big tanks is that you cannot afford building big copters. And also, the unit count is looking good for Max because let's check the stats, because I'm sure Max has will more copters. Okay, no, I'm wrong. They have will the same amount of copters. Well, Olaf just will one of them, but what I mean is I was expecting Max to be up on unit count also because of the usage of the airport. But just 2 copters as Max day 16 is quite, maybe he wills 1 now, it's quite not very much. This medium tank looks trapped, but it can get away perfectly because this medium tank can sit on the city, destroy this, and this can go away. I don't know if Olaf wants to do that, or maybe get something easier to attack. But let's see. Because Max this turn only wields infantry and 1 tank. He has saved up a lot of funds. Is he trying to go for a bomber or something like that? I mean, it's kind of fair to say that a bomber here could do the job, although it could get too late, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 turns, probably, if you count the boost of powers. Yeah. 1 shot the anti-air. You don't even need this. Oh my god. And the Winter Fury. Not even caring about Reaper in the... Oh my god. He's just going for the kills. Covering both medium tanks with the artillery. This medium tank doesn't matter. And this medium tank is on a forest. And that means that it's quite safe. And if you look at it, you cannot attack this medium tank so easily, because snow, and the snow is very annoying. Snow is gonna make the movement cost on planes for threats +1, and that means that the medium tank cannot go into here and cannot go into here. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With power it will be able, but remember, Max just used the mass blasts, so that means next turn there is no power coming. And if as Max, after your superpower, you are looking like this is very rough in my opinion. Let's see how Max player tries to recover, because one thing is certain. In Fog, you don't want to resign too early. In Standard, you can assume it's early to evaluate the situation, but I would recommend you guys to try it out in Fog until much later into the game. There's 2 reasons. Basically, some games that might look completely lost or you are super behind are not actually that bad, because your opponent is probably hard as much as you. And another reason is it's easier to screw in Fog to overstand or to misplay or to outplay your opponent. So if you play Fog, guys, try to never surrender. I mean, not never surrender, you know what I meant with that. Okay. Kills this infantry in order to get vision of the medium tank. and attacks from the forest instead of these plains. And there is two reasons for that. If you attack from the plains, you will be in range of this base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 medium tank, boom, power of max, which is, I mean, it might happen, you know, and yeah, it might happen. That's the only argument. You trap the neo tank and you put an artillery. This artillery is completely enjoying its time. It might get cheap damage by the copter, but that's completely fine in my opinion, because that will still be at 6, maybe 5 HP, and that will still do enough damage to the neo tank, and then a medium tank will deal with the injured neo tank. And let's see, because this looks quite overextended, to be honest. But Olaf is capitalizing on the overextension, in the sense that you don't push for pushing to kill units and bomba. No, guys. Sorry. You push to get something. You push to get the HQ, get a city, the com tower, map control, something. And here Olaf is doing that. He's getting this city, he's applying pressure into this com tower and this property with help of an infantry and a copter. So not only he's maintaining the main army, doing the job basically, but he's getting profit out of it with a couple of units on the sizes. And as you can see, you don't want to ignore completely the sizes, but you certainly don't want to have 4 vehicles here. You just want to have a couple of infantries and maybe the sneaky copter, the sneaky recon to deal with the defending infantry. So very I like it a lot. Okay, the medium tank instead, it's the one that attack the artillery. I forgot about that, to be honest. No, maybe it was because this tank was blocking this medium tank from doing that. But still, this is not great because you just sacked a medium tank. The artillery dies, but okay, Olaf is able to interrupt the cap. But let's see what Olaf does now, because I'm very curious. One shot the recon, very good. One shot the medium tank, one shot the infantry, and keeps trapping the neo tank. This neo tank won't be able to get out and do something. This neo tank is basically trapped. It's like if you had not a neo tank, because how are you gonna be able to make this not block? It's costing 1 unit per turn, but at the end of the day, a neo tank free would kill 1 unit also. So I think it's not that bad, to be honest. To be honest, this is quite on the very dangerous, and you have to be very calculated with this kind of play. But I see why it works, and I like to play like this, honestly, on my games. And Max completely got overwhelmed and resigned, because this type of style and gameplay, if you get your opponent off guard, they get overwhelmed and don't know what to do, and you might get into their heads. So it's super. I like it a lot, and the medium tank chain also is not something. I mean, between Chinese players, I guess, is kinda meta and they expect it, but against the majority of the community, is not something you expect. There are maps and maps, and I think this is a good map for the medium tank chain. But there are other maps in Fog where I would not recommend it. But certainly this map is small enough to make up for it once you break this pipe. Because a medium tank, as you can see in 2 turns, will get into the middle. As we could see, it one-shot the recon. So anyways, I don't know what you think about this Chinese player. I don't know if someone knows who he is, but I want to see him playing against some of the big dogs. Certainly against, I don't know, Inkugard, Raizo, Dijus, Go7. It could be very interesting to see. He certainly will come across with them eventually if he keeps playing, because I mean, he has the same elo as me on Fog. The thing is, he has 1100, 1200. I think he has 1200 on 3 modes or something like that. That's why the general elo is so high. But he definitely is on range of some of the best players, and if he keeps winning, he will be sooner or later. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any map commentary suggestions and videos ideas, whatever you're gonna do, say hi, feel free to comment, to send me a message, to hang out on the Discord of Advanced Wars via Web. And yeah, that's it. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.